Okay, now we are going to start with the new topic, that is law of chemical combinations. Okay, laws of chemical combinations. Laws of chemical combinations. Okay, laws of chemical combinations. More theory focused topic and less important for the exam, but it is need to be covered. Okay. So first law is law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. Okay. Second one is law of constant proportion.
Okay.
Law of constant proportions. Third one is law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion. Okay. And fourth one is law of reciprocal proportions. Reciprocal proportions. And fifth and last law is
Sir,
Gay-Lussac's
once
law,
please
Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes.
sir, once can you say last second one?
Okay, Gay-Lussac's law of combining volume. Okay. Okay, now listen here, law of chemical combinations. Okay, there are 5 laws. Okay, there are how many laws? 5 laws. First one is law of conservation of mass. First one is law of conservation of mass. Second one is law of constant proportion. Third one is law of multiple proportion. Fourth one is law of reciprocal proportion. And fifth one is Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. These are the 5 laws of combining volumes. Okay, chemical combinations. One by one, we are going to study. So, law of conservation of mass, very simple and very basic one. Okay, need not to worry much about it. Need not to take tension about this. Simple, mass of reactant is equal to mass of product. Okay, sum of the mass of the reactant, sum of the mass of reactant is equal to sum of the mass of product. Okay, and but there is a limitation to it. It is applicable only to, it is applicable only to the thermochemical reactions. Which reactions? Thermochemical reactions, not applicable to nuclear chemical reactions. Where it is not applicable? Nuclear chemical reactions. What are the nuclear chemical reaction? When a two nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. These are the two reactions where this law is not applicable. In those reaction, what happens? Uh, in in those reactions, what happens? The product mass will be always less than the reactant. Product mass is always less than the reactant. So the difference of mass, suppose if I am taking 10 grams, in product side I will get only 9.7 grams. Okay. So here mass of product is less than the mass of reactant. So that decrease in mass is called as mass defect. That is called as what? Mass defect. Okay. So that mass defect, where it is going, it is explained by the law of energy mass equivalence. It is explained. The limitation of the law of conservation of mass is explained on the basis of energy mass equivalence. Okay, energy mass equivalence, which is already most famous formula, E is equal to mc square. Okay. So this reduced mass, that is 0.3 mass, you will substitute here. So when it is multiplied by speed of light to the power of 2, that much energy we are going to get. That energy will be nuclear energy. That's why nuclear energy is more and more powerful. Okay. So law of conservation of mass, only definition part and limitation. Limitation is overcome by which one? Law of conservation of mass says that it is mass of reactant. Sum of the mass of reactant is equal to sum of the mass of product. but limitation is it is not applicable for nuclear chemical reaction. It is applicable only for thermochemical reaction. Then for nuclear chemical reaction, which law is applicable? Law of mass energy equivalence. Whatever the loss of mass is there, that much corresponding energy we are going to get, which is equal to E is equal to mc square. That is Einstein's equation. This is mass defect. Whatever the mass we are getting less, that is converted to equivalence of E is equal to mc square. Understood? So that mostly it will be in MeV, million electron volt. Okay. Next coming to the law of constant proportion. Next coming to what? Law of constant proportion. So constant proportion is used. Law of constant proportion. Okay. Second law is law of constant proportion. Okay. So law of constant proportion is used when a pure compound is available. Okay. Suppose water is there. Okay. So water can be prepared by any different methods. Okay. A pure compound can be prepared by any different method. Will always contain same element. If it is a water, it should consist hydrogen and oxygen only. Okay. It should be pure. I am talking about. A pure compound is always made up of same element combined together in the same ratio by mass or volume. So if I want to form the water, I need to add 2 grams of hydrogen with 16 grams of oxygen. That is mass ratio is 1:8. Okay, to prepare 1 mole of water, hydrogen and oxygen mass ratio is 1:8. Let it be any preparation method. This proportion will be constant. Law of constant proportion. Suppose if I am talking by volumes, this is 2 moles and 2 into 22.4 liter, and this will be 1 into 22.4 liter. Okay, so that will be the ratio. That means 2:1. In terms of the volume, it will be 2:1. Okay, H2O. This ratio is corresponds to 2:1. Understood? So combining ratio of hydrogen and oxygen to produce pure water is always constant. How much it is? In the mass ratio 1:8, in the volume ratio 2:1. Okay, so that is the law of constant proportion. Okay, in this example, we will take only one molecule. Now coming to the third law, coming to the which law? Third law. So third law says about the law of multiple proportion. Law of which proportion? Multiple proportion. Okay. So in multiple proportion, we will take multiple molecule, but they should be composed of what? Same element. Okay. Suppose I take elements nitrogen and oxygen. What elements? Nitrogen and oxygen. It does not mean that they will form only one molecule. They can form an n number of molecule, but the ratio will be different. Okay. So if I combine 2:1, okay, so then what it will result into? N2O. If I combine 2:2, then it will result in N2O2. Otherwise, we can write it as NO, nitric oxide. Understood? If I combine them in 2:3, then it will result in N2O3. Okay. If I combine in 2:4, then it will form N2O4. If I combine them in 2:5, okay. If I combine them in 2:5, then what happens? Then what happens? It will form a new compound, which is N2O5. Okay. Now this is where we will use law of multiple proportion. Which law you will use? Law of multiple proportions. Okay. According to law of multiple proportion, when proportion of one of the element is fixed. In all this example, I have fixed which one? Nitrogen proportion fixed. Then ratio of the other element, the ratio of the other element combining with the fixed element of the given first element will be in the whole number ratio. Here oxygen ratio. To avoid confusion, I am writing here oxygen. Okay, so oxygen ratio is how much? 1 ratio, 2 ratio, 3 ratio, 4 ratio, 5, which is a whole number ratio. They are all combining with fixed amount of nitrogen to the fixed number of element. The other element will combine in the whole number ratio. What is that ratio? 1 ratio, 2 ratio, 3 ratio, 4 ratio, 5. This is ratio of what? Oxygen. But they are all combining with fixed ratio of nitrogen. Fixed ratio of nitrogen. So in the law of multiple proportion, you can take two or more than two examples. What you can take? Two or more than two example. As the name itself suggests that it is a multiple proportion. Which proportion it is? Multiple proportion. So you can take multiple molecule. But what you have to take? You have to take fixed number of. You have to take fixed number of elements. Here fixed number of elements are how many in the given example? They are two. What are those? Nitrogen and oxygen. In them what you have to do? You have to fix the ratio of the one of the element. Which element I kept here fixed? Nitrogen. The other element ratio will be in whole number ratio. In which ratio? Whole number ratio. The other element ratio will be in whole number ratio. 2 ratio is fixed. Oxygen ratio is 1 ratio, 2 ratio, 3 ratio, 5, 4 ratio, 5. Okay, so that is the law of multiple proportion. Okay, so first we talked about the reaction. Next we talked about the one molecule. Next we talked about the two elements. Now we will talk about the how many elements? Three elements. Very nice. We will talk about how many elements? Three elements. That law is called as what? Reciprocal proportion. Which proportion? Reciprocal. Okay, reciprocal proportion. Okay, so according to reciprocal proportion, when you combine three different elements, suppose carbon and sulfur. Okay, so carbon and oxygen combined together in the ratio of 1 ratio 2. Carbon and oxygen combines in the ratio of what? 1 ratio 2. Carbon and oxygen combined together in the ratio of 1 ratio 2. Same way, sulfur and oxygen will also combine in the ratio of 1 ratio 2. Okay, so these two are differently connected. These two are differently connected. Then they themselves also will connect in the same ratio or a multiple ratio of it. Here they are maintaining 1 ratio 2. Here they are maintaining 1 ratio 2. Here also they will maintain 1 ratio 2 or a multiple of 1 ratio 2. Okay, or a multiple of 1 ratio 2. That can be 3 ratio 2. That can be 5 ratio 2. That can be even 2 ratio 2. That is 1 ratio 1 also. Understood? That is the reciprocal proportion. Any doubt about this? Reciprocal proportion says that when two different elements combine with the third element separately. When two different elements combine with the third element separately, then they themselves also combine together in the same ratio, or a multiple ratio in which they combine with the third element. Okay, this is the law of reciprocal proportion. Fourth law, is it understood now? First law is law of conservation of mass, where it says that sum of the mass of reactant is equal to sum of the mass of product, but it got some limitation. It is applicable only for thermochemical reaction, not for nuclear chemical reaction. So for nuclear chemical reaction, a new law is introduced, that is called as energy mass equivalence. Law of energy mass equivalence, which is mathematically E is equal to mc square. Okay, then second law is law of constant proportion. A pure compound is always made up of same element combined together in the same ratio. Okay, by the mass. H2O can always be made up of 2 grams of hydrogen and 16 grams of oxygen only. You cannot change ratio to 3 ratio 16. or 2:19. Likewise, you cannot change that ratio. Okay, constant. Then multiple proportion, when two are more than two element combined together, then mass of one element value ratio will be fixed and mass of other element ratio will be changed. Mass of other ratio element will be changed, and that ratio will be a multiple ratio. And reciprocal proportion is when two different element combine with the third element, they will maintain the same ratio. They will maintain the same ratio. Okay, which they combine with the third element. Okay, so this is about the reciprocal proportion. Okay, next, last law is law of Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. Okay, combining volumes will be H2 plus N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. 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 Okay, so this is applicable only for gaseous reactant and product. Where it is applicable? Only for gaseous reactant and product. Okay, so I am selecting this reaction because here reactant also gases and product also gases. According to Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes, the reactant, if they are in gases, they will combine together in a whole number ratio. They will combine together in a whole number ratio. If I take 10 liter, I have to take 30 liter. If I take 5 liter, I have to take 15 liter. So 5 divided by 15, 1:3. So gases always combine together in the whole number ratio. Okay, in the whole number ratio. Is it understood? If product also in the gaseous state, then it also will maintain a fixed whole number ratio. Which ratio? Fixed whole number ratio. 1:3:2. 1:3:2. Here in this topic, for definition itself will be applicable as a formula. There is no separate formula for it. So definition part, everybody must be aware of it. Understood? As already all the definitions are covered 2 to 3 times, I think everybody have noted it. Okay.